What I love about New Albany is the 4th of July parade.
Sports.
Starbucks. My other home.
Very supportive to my business, and I think businesses in the area kind of all look out for each other.
Everything.
All right. I have to say it because I say it every episode. We're recording. So I've got Matt here with me. Matt, welcome to the show. Welcome to White Fence Living.
Thanks, Justin. Appreciate you having us on your podcast today.
Yeah, no problem. You got to check out the space. Pretty cool, Brick House Blue.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty impressive. I've heard about the space through different New Albany functions, but it's nice to come out and take a look at it and get to see all the cool meeting space.
Yeah, Water's Edge Suite Room. So speaking of Brick House Blue, and this is fitting, we've got Matt with Canine Companions. Brick House Blue is doing and I'm going to explain this all wrong, I promise, but they're doing for National Dog Day, I think it is, later this month. You could submit a photo of your pet, and then that photo will actually go like on the carousel in all of their lobbies and all of their locations, just kind of like spotlighting Brick House Blue's pets. So pretty cool that I found out about that today, and then here we are with Canine Companions.
Yeah, very fitting considering, the work we do and the joy that dogs and pets bring to people's lives.
Yeah, my dog is not always a joy to me, but we'll get into that later.
I've had that experience as well.
So Matt, we've known each other for a little while. Matt lives in the community, and he has kids in the community. And so his daughter and my daughter are similar age, if not the same. Aren't they? They're in this same class, I think.
Yeah. First grade, going into first grade.
Yeah. Yep. See, just two dads trying to figure out where the kids
are. I know,
are.
Right? Well, I have 4 kids, so one in first, one in second, 7th grader, and then a sophomore. So, yeah, it's always a challenge keeping track of, their names even.
Yes. I forget what episode it was, but I was talking about how funny it is with 4 kids because I've got 4 too, and I'm like, I can't keep track of anything. I don't know, like, who their teachers are. And, like, 2 seconds passed by, and whoever I was sitting with was like, so who's her teacher? And I'm like, God, I have no clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
And I love those questions, especially, like, when Power School just releases that information. Like, do you think that I just went on the last 30 seconds and looked that up?
There is a cool spreadsheet now. You've seen the spreadsheet, I'm sure.
I don't know if I have or not. I probably need to go look at that.
Yeah, so there's a spreadsheet that goes around so that because before you see who's in your class, you know what class you're in. So you go in, somebody creates a spreadsheet, and then you go in there and you put your kid in whatever class they're in. So then you can go look at who's in all the classes.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
It was worth my time just hearing that today, Justin.
Yeah, because the kids are like, who's in my class? Who's in my class? And they're like, I'm not putting my name. I'll keep it a surprise.
It's a secret.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. So, yeah, we've got 2 boys that have played football together and lacrosse together, and the girls have done cheer together. Yep. And those 2 are, like, attached at the hip.
Yes, they are. We were out at Bevelheimer last night, and Kylie ran up to Gemma and was so excited to see her. So yeah, they're trouble together.
They are trouble. Well, good. So you got a sophomore too. Like how has I'm not ready for teenage years, but how is it like seeing them progress out of like the youth stuff out of the middle school, get into the high school? Like how's that been?
I mean, it's exciting. My sophomore, obviously my oldest, and I was even thinking last night, she asked me to do something late last night, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the smartest or the safest thing to be doing, and so the answer was no. And then I had this sort of recollection of being the youngest and how my sisters always said, like, you got away with so much stuff, and like mom and dad were so strict on us as older kids. So I had to pause and think to myself, like, am I going to have that same reaction when Kylie's a sophomore? And I actually talked to another mom, and she was like, I totally agree. Like, probably not the best idea. And I'm like, all right, good. Thanks for confirming what I was thinking. I wasn't just being, like, strict on my oldest, but it's been great. I mean, with all the kids and their development and as they get older, just seeing the activities and the friendships grow and develop and the maturity come and, all the different things that they're involved with and, becoming independent young adults. It's
I
pretty cool to
cannot
see.
wait for that.
Yeah. It comes with a lot of, every age, right? Comes with different challenges and things
Yeah.
you have to navigate. And hopefully by the time Kylie's a sophomore, I'll be a lot better at this. But yeah, it's fun. I'm sure you can appreciate this. Like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have 4 kids. I'd be pretty bored because 90% of my life is,
Yeah.
around some activity or some school function. And, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is as nervous as having a driver makes me. I am ready because like we are playing taxi. It's all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like we're just running them here, running them there, taking them to their friends, picking them up.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for Vinny to start driving.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I know. Very mixed feelings there. Because a lot of my oldest, Maddie, her friends are driving. She's very young for her grade. She started early. She's got a July birthday. And so a lot of her friends are already turning 16 and she just turned 15. And that whole piece is just it's scary. It's scary business. And, with distracted drivers and all of that, it's, but I completely appreciate your, the fact of having a driver and having them have some independence and help with, getting around and maybe getting their siblings around. That certainly will be nice. But
I kind of feel like driving is going to be safer than these e-bikes and scooters.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. It's all scary to think about, really, and just making sure that kids are being safe and wearing their helmets and driving on roads that they should be driving on and doing the things they need to be doing.
And I think they do. I rarely see anybody any kids in the community on an e-bike without a helmet. And the football players love to wear their football helmets on them now. So that's like if you're gonna pick something to be cool, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I know.
So let's jump into Canine Companions. I know of the organization, and I think a big part of why I do is because Dogfest. So Dogfest is coming up. We were talking before. It's not a whole lot of it's not a ton of people from outside of the organization or some way connected to the organization that go. But so let's kind of back up. Maybe I went too far. Let's start with what Canine Companions is.
Sure. So, I think in many ways, unfortunately, I think Canine Companions is still somewhat of the best kept secret in New Albany. We're one of the largest nonprofit organizations located here in New Albany. Great deal of support from the community, from the city, which we're very, very fortunate to have. But, it feels as though unless, and I'm sure this is true with a lot of organizations, unless your family's been personally impacted, it may not just jump right out to you. So this organization started back in 1975. We're a national organization. We have 6 regional facilities across the country. Our headquarters is out in California. That's where we breed labs and Goldens, and they get sent to one of the 6 regional sites across the country where they get matched with a volunteer puppy raiser. So talk about a cool volunteer experience, raising these puppies for a year and a half, socializing them, potty training them, teaching the dogs some of those basic commands or cues that they'll further refine in professional training to support their client. And so then after that year and a half period, the dog gets turned back into one of the 6 regional training centers where it started, and it gets matched with a professional trainer on our staff who teaches the dog about 45 commands, cues we call them, to support the client with the disability. And then we invite a class of students to come and stay on our campus for 2 weeks to learn how to work with the dog. And at the end of that 2-week period, the client graduates and goes home with their new service dog and has typically about an 8 to 10 year partnership with that dog where, that dog is their service dog for 8 to 10 years. So full program from breeding all the way through the 8 to 10 year working life. The organization, since 1975, we've placed over 8,200 service dogs.
Wow.
With clients that need them. We support over 65 different types of disabilities. So it's it's an amazing mission and organization. Anyone that has a dog knows just the joy, the companionship, to your point earlier, Justin, some of the frustration that comes with having pets. But, with service dogs in particular, I mean, they're providing life-changing support to these clients that allows them to live independently. So, that could be a veteran with PTSD returning home from war, or a college-age student that is getting ready to go off to college and trying to navigate, their new life in independence, and are able to do that through the support of a service dog, to, a kid in a wheelchair with, a disability, to an adult. We have a client, team on class of students on campus right now. They'll graduate on Friday. So our next graduation ceremony is taking place this Friday, and they're open to the public. One of our clients that's at this team training class, he's here for his 5th service dog. So he got he was part of our first class back in 1975, and has got a new service dog about every 10 years.
That's crazy.
So this is his 5th service dog. He was a school teacher in the Columbus area. So yeah, just, a lot of really great, experiences that these people are able to have, and just life-changing support that they're able to have through this new partnership that they have with their dog. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've got, I'm going to be the dummy in the room, because I've got so many questions about this now.
Yeah.
Because I love dogs. I've had labs growing up. Who doesn't love dogs? And to me, I knew it was a big organization. I could look. I've been on the campus. I'm like, this campus is amazing. It's huge. So I get the sense that it was a larger organization. So I've just got so many questions. If you how do these service dogs get placed? If I'm somebody with a disability and I need a service dog, is this nonprofit? Do I pay for this dog? How do I get placed with a dog?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. So if you are considering the idea of having a service dog, and obviously doing your research, Canine Companions is the largest. We're probably one of the most reputable service dog providers in the country. If the decision is to have a service dog through Canine Companions, folks can go to our website, canine.org, fill out an online application. We have an applicant program manager that takes in all the applications, reviews them, and then has a series of interviews with that applicant. And if everything checks out and they're a good fit for our organization and we're a good fit for their needs, then they move from applicant to candidate. And that's when we really start to think about which dogs we have on campus and our strings on campus, and which candidates we have on our wait list, and who's going to be the best fit. So it's not necessarily if you're number one on the wait list that you're going to get, the number one, the next dog in line. We call it the making of the match, and our program team sits down and looks at, what are the skills, what's the weaknesses of all of our dogs, what are the needs of our clients, what's their living situation, how are they planning on utilizing that dog. And it really is, there's kind of an art and a science to it, but they're finding the best possible dog that we have on our string. So even if that person is number one on our wait list, if we don't have the right dog on our campus currently, then we'll wait till the next string of dogs that come in. This happens quarterly. So every graduation ceremony that we're having on Friday, we do this quarterly. We also have a matriculation ceremony. So that's when puppy raisers are turning in their dogs for professional training. So it's just a continuous cycle. All of our dogs are provided completely free of charge. We value each placement well over $50,000. And we separate ourselves from other service dog providers in the fact that we provide all of our dogs completely free of charge. So, we don't ask the client to fundraise or to, help offset the cost. We're able to provide these dogs completely free of charge to the recipient, which is a great thing. Some of these folks, wouldn't be able to afford a dog, let alone a service dog otherwise. So we're really proud of the fact that we can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So that also I didn't know. I knew it was a nonprofit, but I didn't know exactly how like that selection process took. So that's cool. That's awesome. Man, I'm telling you, like some of my favorite episodes have been nonprofits. Like I don't know what, like it just people doing good work. It's awesome. Um, Puppy raisers, like sounds like the coolest job ever. So what do you ask of a puppy raiser, and then like is there an application process for that? What does that look like?
Yep. There is an application for that, and kind of similar to, a client, they're filling out the application. They're getting to know talk about cool titles. Our puppy program manager is getting to know these puppy raisers that are interested in doing this. Some of our puppy raisers have, previous dog training experience or experience that would, I think, more directly correlate to volunteering in that role. Some don't. Some just have pets and are genuinely interested in, raising dogs. And the nice thing about, our organization is that we have 6 facilities across the country, but within each of our regional facilities, we have 10, 5, 10 more than, I think in our regional one, we have like 11 volunteer chapters out of our 14 states. So we've got these groups of volunteers all through the country that if you're a new puppy raiser, you can interact with other volunteers in the area. You come to puppy class in your respective area.
Nice.
So any new puppy raiser can really kind of lock arms with a veteran puppy raiser and, garner experience and practice and build a community of other supporters that they can, support one another. And, for many of our puppy raisers, it's really a life passion. I mean, people say, I don't know how they do that. And, take a dog in for a year and a half and then
It'd be hard to let go.
And yeah, it certainly would. I think, though, that our puppy raisers, they sign up for the job knowing what they're getting into, knowing the role that they play in this overall mission. And, when they can come to graduation day, so we'll have a bunch of puppy raisers and all of our clients on campus on Friday. Our puppy raisers get to sit and have lunch with the graduate that the dog is, that they helped raise. And that's a special moment. And then during the graduation ceremony, the puppy raiser turns the leash over to the graduate during the ceremony. So pretty emotional day for everyone. But I think, just seeing the impact, some of our puppy raisers have raised, 15, 20 plus dogs, and the countless lives that they have forever changed and impacted is pretty incredible. So,
are you looking for new puppy raisers?
Always looking for new puppy raisers. Yeah. It's like any organization, you've got a lot of good volunteers and volunteers that have been around for a long time, but you can't continue to, rely on those folks forever and ever and ever. So we're always trying to sort of fill that next, group of volunteers, the younger generation, and just, getting the word out and trying to recruit more and more people. Transportation is an issue with our headquarters being out in California. Getting these puppies from Santa Rosa out to Long Island or New Albany, Ohio, or Texas or Florida can be a challenge. And our puppy raisers, help a lot with that, being willing to drive and go pick puppies up and take them from point A to point B. So yeah, I think the more that we can just continue to build our volunteer network, the more folks that we're going to be able to serve.
Yeah. If I didn't have 4 kids and a dog, I'd be all about it.
I get it.
It's like being a surrogate.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. I get asked, why aren't you raising a puppy, Matt? I'm like, I have 4 puppies.
I'm raising 4 of them. And that's awesome. So yeah, anybody out there who wants to raise puppies, everybody loves puppy stage, and it doesn't last long enough. So you just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah. We've got some really neat, kind of unique programs. We support specific, anyone that has a disability, we can support through one of our service dogs. We don't support the blind, but we do hearing placements. We have placements in various facilities. So Nationwide Children's Hospital has a number of our dogs at the hospital that support, different areas of their healthcare system. We have dogs in judicial systems. We have dogs in school systems. The New Albany school system previously had a dog, and one of the security directors for New Albany was his handler. And so just a lot of really cool, unique ways that they're utilizing dogs. Like in the school system, we've heard stories of, kids that were anxious, that didn't want to get off the bus, able to go on the bus and say, hey, do you want to walk with me and the dog to your classroom, or to use as an incentive to like encourage better attendance, or, even situations where kids were just like very emotional and irate, and the faculty couldn't calm them down, the administration couldn't calm them down, but the dog came in the room and it was just enough of a distraction to like get the kid to refocus and settle a bit. So, it's amazing. All the, the stories that we have are endless. Veterans that are injured in combat. And one in particular told me a story about being in a Walmart parking lot late one night, and he had a Jeep outfitted for his disability that got his wheelchair in and out. And it was in the middle of the winter, and he said he was like one of the only cars in the parking lot. He got in the car and got his wheelchair in and everything. And because of his disability, he has a lot of weakness in his hand, and he dropped his keys, and they went under the wheel well of his Jeep. And he said before he even gave the command, his dog jumped across his lap, went under the Jeep, got his keys, and retrieved them for him. And he said, I was on my way. And if it weren't for his dog, he would have been looking for someone nice in the parking lot to help, or, getting back out of the vehicle and going through that whole process again, or being stranded. So, it's a special organization. It's one that I think, impacts people, not just from the joy that we know pets just in general can provide, but the 45 cues that they learn to really allow this person to live independently. Anything from, pulling off sweaters or socks to alerting them to fire alarms or doorbells. A lot of retrieve, picking dropped items off the floor, turning on and off light switches, pulling a manual wheelchair, or pulling a laundry basket. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So if, for folks that are like love dogs and love are so interested in like what dogs can do to support folks, come out to our campus. We offer tours.
Can I drop my kids off for training?
Yeah.
Because they can't
bring
do
both of our kids.
They can't do any of those things you just listed.
I know. Picking up a sweater off the floor.
Not happening.
Yeah. Putting your helmet in your duffel bag. Yeah. None of that.
I do kind of feel like the property sits back. Like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, it's there. You don't really, it's back there. So I strongly encourage anybody who, like, it's such like a mystery back there. But like having been to Dog Fest and going back there and checking it out, it's a really cool campus.
Yeah, we're right on 605 Reynoldsburg, New Albany Road, across from the. Now I'm drawing a blank on the name of the
community there.
Community across the street, Nottingham.
Yep, I think you're right.
So right across the street is our facility, and the sign runs perpendicular with the road. So if you see this sign, there's a long driveway that goes back, and our campus is 54,000 square feet, and we sit on 16 acres. And like I said, folks can pop in or email ahead, and if they're interested in coming out for a tour, Dog Fest is a great opportunity just to come out and see the campus and learn more about the work and hear the stories of folks that have been impacted by the organization. So yeah, open to the public, and we're always looking for folks to get involved and just come out and learn more about the work we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Dog Fest. So the first thing we should talk about Dog Fest is parking. Let's start there, because I like almost didn't go one year because I'm like, wait a minute, where do I go? How do I do this?
Yep.
So how is the parking going to work this year?
So parking, and I got talking points ahead of this podcast. So parking's at 7400 West Campus Road. It's the Aetna building.
And that's where it was last year, right?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah. So
we've used the Discover lot in the past as well. But yeah, I think it was at Aetna last year.
So Aetna is, like, if you know where the Discover building is, New Albany Road there, It's kind of like if you were going to cut from, like, go to the goat from the backside, I guess is the way to explain it. It cuts through to that neighborhood. But yeah, you can't miss it when you're coming up New Albany Road. It's on the left-hand side opposite of the Discover building.
Yeah.
And then New Albany's shuttle, right?
Yeah, this year we got a shuttle from Cardinal Transportation.
Okay, good.
I believe is who we're using, but we'll shuttle folks from the Aetna building over to campus. We have a fair amount of parking right on our campus, but not enough to accommodate the Dog Fest event. So yeah, we'll ask folks. The event goes from 1 to 4. You can come anytime. The shuttle will be running kind of continuously. So park there and then jump on the shuttle and come over to campus.
And your dog can come on the shuttle.
Yep, dog can come on the shuttle. We encourage dogs. I think my very first Dog Fest was, I've been with the organization 6 years now, and when I first started, we were doing a smaller event up in the Cleveland area. And the thing that was so cool to me was that I felt like I saw every breed of dog imaginable at this event. And so I think that's a cool thing, is like bringing your pet dogs out, and for someone that just likes seeing cool dogs, it's neat to see all the different breeds of dogs there.
Yeah, and like kids love it. It's super kids family friendly. So if I'm remembering correctly, there's like, I think they were like made a dog treat or something. Like one of the tents was this, like, no, it was a dog painting. It was like peanut butter, and the dog would lick the peanut butter, and then like made an artwork piece underneath of it. But there's of course water everywhere for the dogs. There was like little obstacle courses. There's lots of giveaways. I know there was a ton of giveaways. Canine Companions giving away, I think, like the doggy bandanas.
Yep.
And then, I think there's like just tons of samples. There's some vendors there too, like up along the buildings where, people were just showing products. And I think it's a really cool event. It was really fun.
Yeah, it's, Dog Fest is a big fundraiser for us. So this year our fundraising goal is to raise $560,000. And like, it's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. So folks are fundraising year-round to support Dog Fest and support Canine Companions. And the day of is really kind of a celebration for folks that aren't super familiar with the organization. Just a great intro to the work we do. But for a lot of the people that, it's coming out and celebrating all the fundraising that they've done throughout the year. And we'll have, in past, we've had face painters, we've had balloon artists, cotton candy, food vendors, things of that nature. I think.
There were food trucks last year.
There'll be food trucks. This year we're planning, I think, something where folks can have a print of their dog's paw created for them. So just, fun activities. It's a very family-friendly event. It's on a Sunday. If you live here in New Albany, you're looking something fun to take the kids out and experience. It's a good day. So, yeah, we hope to see as many people as possible this year.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the working dogs are there, which is like, I got to touch on this. So, if you haven't met one of these working dogs, if you see a dog with a yellow vest on with like the blue outline, says Canine Companions, that's them. These dogs are they are the most like chill, relaxed. Like every lab is like that, but these dogs are just. It is crazy how like just friendly and like just chill they are.
Yeah, and that is a testament, I think, a lot to the breeding program. I mean, that's how the dogs are trained. You really shouldn't know a service dog. If you're in a restaurant and a service dog's under the table, you shouldn't know that dog's there. But yeah, they're very, very. Their temperament is very calm. They're trained really to follow the lead of their client. And so, when they're being asked to do something, they're working, and when they're not working, they're in a down position, being pretty calm. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive, just the science and the research piece that has gone into like creating these amazing service dogs.
Yeah, and I know you're not on the breeding side, and I'm way more, I'm sure, about this than I do. But like, so where are these dogs coming from, and like, is it like, has this been like one bloodline that we're breeding? Is it like, are they coming from out of the country? Are they bred here? Tell me about that breeding process.
So we have breeder caretakers within a 100-mile radius of Santa Rosa, our headquarters. And that's been going on for, 30 plus years.
Wow.
I think early on in the organization's history, we tried other breeds of dogs, but where we've really landed is labs and goldens, and most likely a lab golden cross is what we have found to be the kind of the best blend for the work that we're having them do. So we have breeder caretakers that for years and years whelp the dogs right in their homes. Now we have a new center out in California next to our headquarters where the breeding can take place now in a more controlled environment.
Yeah.
And so I know a little bit about the breeding piece, but we have a whole. I mean, we partner with groups like Duke, and we're looking at like early canine development and markers for future success in a service dog, and looking at puppies at a very early age, and to kind of help us further refine and develop that area of our program.
What happens if a puppy doesn't work out?
So our puppy raisers get first right of refusal. So that's another benefit of being a puppy raiser. If
You got a chance.
Yeah. Someone said earlier, talking about a puppy raiser, and but yeah, if the dog doesn't get selected to go on to be a service dog, then they are essentially released from our program. And first call we make is to the puppy raiser to see if they'd like to have that dog. A lot of our puppy raisers that have released dogs are using them in therapy work. That's a new extension of our mission. Within the last couple of years, we've developed our own therapy dog program, and those dogs wear a different colored vest. It's like aqua teal color, but still continuing to work. And we want to keep these dogs working, even though if they might have a physical setback or a behavioral setback that disqualifies them from being a service dog. They're still amazing dogs, and they're still very intelligent and very capable of working in different environments. And one of the areas that we're finding a lot of them find success is through our therapy program.
Nice. Yeah. I don't think I could be trusted as a puppy caretaker, because I'd be like, this dog stinks. You do not want him. He can't do anything.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of like what helps us decide that is through the reports we get from our puppy raisers. I think they submit monthly reports that help us really have a good sense of what this dog is capable of before we even see the dog. But then they have 6 to 8 months. So if you mess anything up, we've got 6 months to
fix it,
to fix whatever you messed up. So,
all right, fair enough. Cool. So, the training process. So the breeding is done in California.
Yep.
How do those dogs get here?
Well, it's through either commercial airlines, private pilots, or a puppy raiser, transporting them by vehicle.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so the puppy, he's good. He's ready for a caretaker. They get shipped here, like to a facility like New Albany's or one of the other facilities, and then. So are the puppy caretakers that the dogs that are going to be trained in New Albany, are those caretakers here in the community?
So we have puppy raisers all throughout our 14-state region.
Okay.
So the regional training center here in New Albany is considered the North Central Training Center, and we serve 14 states. So we have volunteers all throughout our 14 states that are raising puppies for us.
Okay.
So they're with the dog for a year and a half, and then from there they get turned back into the training center for 6 to 8 months of professional training. Nice.
So at about 2 years, they're ready.
Yep. So when we invite the clients to come and stay for 2 weeks, we call it team training. They're in class, Monday through Friday for those 2 weeks, and the dog's ready to go.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of like getting the client, introduced to their new service dog and getting them comfortable and confident and giving those cues and using the dog for what it's capable of. And, for many of our clients, introducing them to this whole new life experience that they're going to be having and helping them build a support group around, this new life change. But the dogs are ready to go. It's just spending those 2 weeks getting the human ready for it. And another great thing about our organization is we retain ownership after the dog and client graduate. And it's really our promise to the graduate that we're not just going to congratulate you, shake your hand
Good
and
luck.
applaud, and wish you good luck, but we're going to support you throughout that whole journey. So we have a graduate program manager on staff, and his job every day is to talk with clients by phone, email, text. Our trainers go out throughout our 14-state region every year and meet with graduates and clients in all of our respective communities and get face-to-face time with them. So it's a great opportunity just to check in with a client, also check in on the dog, make sure the dog's doing well, staying healthy, staying good, weight appropriate. And so, our clients, anybody that's a little apprehensive about getting a service dog, just knowing there's a huge, network of support that is provided from the organization to help, through all the different phases of life that they may go through with their dog.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you're not like there's some like continuing ed, I guess, or like you're still engaged where, yeah, because I'm sure things can arise down the road. I mean, they graduate, get placed in a home. There's probably this big transition, and then maybe they are having trouble with a certain piece of it. They still have a resource to go to.
Yep. And that's one of the things that we teach in team training is not just how to, execute the cues that the dog already knows, but also how to use that dog if they need new things, and feel comfortable modifying a command or a cue to better support their specific needs. So a lot of the cues or the commands that the dog learns kind of build off each other. So they have that confidence if their job situation changes or their school situation, life changes, whatever it may be, that they can work directly with the dog to further train that dog with our support.
That's pretty cool because I'm sure a lot of these disabilities are dynamic. Like I'm sure they're ever changing. You got somebody who's had 5 of them. Like I'm sure that first service dog is not doing the same thing that his latest service dog is.
100%.
So
yeah,
that's really cool, man. Well, I always like to try and finish up with like some New Albany stuff. So how long you been in New Albany?
So bought our house 13 years ago.
Okay, nice. Yeah. What do you guys do for fun when you're not in sports? What do you do in New Albany?
I like to fish.
Okay.
We've got some good ponds in New Albany. Like to do more of that. Sports is it. Ohio State football, Cleveland Browns football, fishing, time with family, traveling when I can, working out and exercising when I can. So, yeah, but the kids, they keep you pretty busy.
Yeah. I used to see you at the gym. We both go to, I partially go to Fit 1-4. You're in there pretty consistently.
Well, I was. We don't belong there anymore.
Oh, that's right.
I have weight equipment at my house, but I can't say I'm using a lot of it. I'm happy if I can get 100 push-ups in a day and try to get, either a run or some steps in. But yeah, that's an area that I could certainly do more of. That's for sure.
Yeah. I do want to give one more shout out to Brickhouse Blue, and there's a Barry's Bagels now. And so today I didn't have time to eat, came from football, ran here, and I was like, oh yeah, bagel shop here. So I got a pastrami bagel on Asiago cheese bagel. It was incredible.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I told you earlier, I've been on this keto diet, but if I had one bagel, I'd probably eat about 15 right now. So
yeah. You're welcome.
They smell really good.
Yeah, you're welcome for me bringing up how good they were.
Thank you for that reminder.
Like I would honestly, I would come in and get a bagel. Like if you don't have to be a Brickhouse Blue member to come into Barry's Bagels. Like it's just in the main lobby. You can come in, get a bagel, and go. It's really good.
I don't think we have other bagel places. I mean, obviously you can get bagel sandwiches at other places, but when I was a kid growing up, we had a few bagel shops in our town, and I think is this the only one?
Yeah,
we have?
that I know of. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah. So, well, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. I'm excited to spread the word on Canine Companions. And so there's a graduation Friday that's open to the public.
Graduation Friday.
If you want to check it out.
Open to the public. Come on out. It takes place. So we have 3 buildings. New Leash Hall is where the graduation ceremony will take place, starting at 1 o'clock. And then Dog Fest, September 21st from 1 to 4. But yeah, this organization, as I mentioned earlier, our 50th anniversary. So just a great time to come and check out the organization and the great work that we've been doing over the last 50 years.
Sweet. Sounds good, man. Well, we'll see everybody at Dog Fest.
Great. Thanks,
All right,
Justin.
thanks
Appreciate you
again.
having me.
Yep. Be sure to follow us on social media for news, updates, everything that's happening in New Albany. You can visit whitefencelivingpodcast.com. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode of White Fence Living.
What I love about New Albany is the holiday tree lighting.
I love the Heights Center.
The walkability and convenience.
My favorite part of New Albany is you.